To another episode of Hit the Mics with Ryan D. I, of course, am Ryan D. This was a fun episode. This episode, we had my good friend Ryan Falla on, who's the drummer of Solar Haze, and they're an awesome band. They're the ones who do my intro song. So every time you hear that song, that is Solar Haze. That is my boy Ryan Falla on drums. So we talk about, how we met. We've known each other for quite a while now. We used to be in the same little circuit when I was actually playing in a metal band for a little while. That's when we met. Did not know he was that much younger than me, but we got to talking, and we talked about how he went on tour in Russia with some crazy Russian chick, which is a very interesting story. It's an awesome tour rock and roll story. Get super in depth in that and talk about all the upcoming events with Solar Haze. So here it is, episode 17. All right.
Make some noise now. Start clapping now for the one, the only. Come on, guys. Mr. Ryan D. Let him hear it. Come on, let him hear it.
All right. Welcome to another
Solar
episode.
Haze.
Welcome to another episode of Hit the Mics with Ryan D. I, of course, am Ryan D. And I'm joined today with one of the creators of that song.
Yes.
Collaborators,
Yes.
creators, consolidators.
Musicians.
Musician.
Yes, that's an easy way to put it.
Ryan Falla, everybody.
Yes, Ryan F.
Yeah.
I didn't know I got an intro song.
We got the boards, dude. We got the boards, bro.
That's my favorite. Soundboards are my favorite. Is this live?
Yeah, we're also live streaming.
I hope my brother's watching on the
Oh
other
yes,
side.
Steven.
He should be.
Steven, I hope you tune in. So far we got nobody, but oh fuck, I fucked up. That's why.
What happened?
Didn't put it public. So
You want to restart it?
no, I don't know if I have to. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, now
Okay.
it's good. Okay,
Alright.
I just had to switch the settings
Okay.
because I was doing a test and I did it private just to just so I could watch it.
Just so you can watch it. It
Yeah.
happens. It happens.
But now I just switched it to fuck. It might not show up on the here. Let's see. It's all good though. If the feed doesn't work, then I'll actually get the video and you'll be able to post it anyway.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
would tagged you in it. You can check it out and share it if you'd like.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome, dude. Your song from Solar Haze is "Hawk in the Wind,"
Yes.
which is my intro song.
I love
which
that.
you guys graciously let me use as my introduction.
Yeah, I mean, we've known you for a while, so we love to just spread all the music all around.
Yeah,
so we can get
absolutely,
it.
man. It's been
Yeah.
what? I mean, it's been like 10 years now. I think. Let's see.
I don't think it's been 10 years.
Has it been like 10? Oh no, let me think about this.
No, because that would be
it's been like-
2008.
no, it's been like 8 years.
Yeah, I was in high school in 2008. Yeah.
It's been like 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I was in high school in
You're
2008.
getting very excited.
I'm getting very
Don't
excited.
worry about it.
Well, it's been a lot of years.
It feels like it's been a long
It's
time.
been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been about 7 years, probably.
Yeah.
I was about 21, 22 when I was in Blaze, and I'm 28, going on 29 now.
Jesus,
Yeah.
That was a while ago. I haven't even really thought about it until you brought it up.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Ryan and I actually played. He played in a different band, or I mean, pretty much the same band, just in a different name, maybe.
What do you mean?
Well, because at that time you and your brother were still in a band, and now you're Solar Haze. But
Yeah.
back then you were in a band. I mean, but it's always
Yeah.
statically been you and your brother, right?
Yeah, me and my brother have been playing together since we were like 14,
Yeah.
15. We didn't actually play in what is Solar Haze even before it was Solar Haze, because before it was called Crimson.
Yeah, right.
And that was,
That's when I met you guys.
yeah, that was like late high school, early college.
Okay.
and we were Crimson for a good while. We were Crimson for a few years. I don't know if you know this band, the band Mothership, on Ripple Records.
No, it
They're
sounds familiar.
super popular.
Sounds familiar.
Super popular band. But back when we were Crimson, we played with them on their first tour, and it was not too long after that. That's when I went overseas to play with another band. And
yes. That's when I we talked about that. They were like a
briefly we talked about it.
Yeah. What was the name of that band and where were they from again?
I'm not giving this band any promotion at all.
Okay. So you don't have to
we
say
could
the
talk
name.
in private about that. But
you don't have to say that. You don't have to say the name. Just tell me what.
The band was, the musician that was headlining all of it.
Yeah, it was like this chick that was.
She was from Russia.
Okay.
And she came over here because she wanted to start this project in LA.
Yeah.
I found.
You know what's funny is before you had I think I told you this before, was before you had actually gone on tour with them, I had met her at the Rainbow.
Oh, I do vaguely remember you telling me about this.
Because we played, she saw us play, and then we were at the Rainbow, and she was talking to us like a lot, and talking about her project and all this stuff. And then I saw you playing with her like months later.
How did you feel when you saw that?
Nothing. I mean, I was like, oh, cool. Like you're going on. But I mean, watching the videos and stuff. No offense to you, but
no, none
but
taken.
I was just
None
like,
taken.
well, I hope he's getting paid.
I was, so I did not give a shit at all.
Yeah. So you
but
know,
I was getting paid.
Well, let's back up. Let's back up a minute. So when we met, we'll get to that, but I wanted to back up because so we met. I was playing in a band. I was playing in a metal crossover kind of punk band. Yeah,
fucking great band.
It was a terrible name, but yeah, thank you. I hated that name.
I thought it's a fine name.
It's a bad name.
It's a high school name.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
a bad name.
You know,
it's a bad name, and like the guy who started the band, who came up with the name and started the band, Roberto, I mean no disrespect to him. Like we ended up not. I mean, it fizzled out with me leaving. It didn't fizzle out because he's still kind of doing the same thing. He's still trying, but it's not. It just.
Is it Under Blaze of Thunder?
Yes.
Okay.
But we had, but with songs that I wrote, so it's a little bittersweet. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little upset about that, but like not enough to fucking
How much did you write?
I wrote a lot of lyrics, and I wrote and being a drum. I mean, being a drummer, you're a part of piecing together a song.
Yeah, a lot of the kind of setting up the structure, and especially because it was just me and my brother for many years. So he would come up with the riffs, and we would just jam it out, and we just keep jamming it out until everything just started like fit into place.
Yeah. I mean, like everybody, I think that's one thing that's like a common misconception with people who don't play an instrument, is that when you're in a band, like the best bands, everybody has a job. Like everybody, even if you're the drummer and the bass player and you're not the front man or you're still either writing lyrics or writing riffs or whatever, and you're still kind of giving your input on where certain parts should go in a song. Like writing a song is, I mean, it's painting a picture. It's like and everybody,
yes, very much.
Everybody has to have their own. I mean, if it doesn't work if everybody's doing the same thing. Like everyone has to be doing their own part.
Yeah.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
And you bring it all together.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when we were in my band, in my band, not to fucking talk about me so much, but when we were in my
it's
band,
your show. It's your show.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Thank you. But we were in my band, like we really clicked, and so for me, it was like we really clicked, and he listened to a lot of stuff that I had to say, which was kind of a first, because I was in a band before where I was in the back, and like I just did what I was told.
Just a drummer shoved in the back,
exactly,
just left there.
And it was like, just this is the riff, this is where it goes. Like play something you think will
play
work.
something that doesn't sound like shit.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, so for that, like so when we were in the writing process, like I make suggestions and stuff. And he had all these songs that he had already pre-recorded and written. I learned,
just ready to go.
And I learned those songs, and we did those. But then when we started writing new shit, doing new stuff, that was stuff that my brother and I had collaborated all together as like a so like he released something that was a new recording of a song that we worked on together. So I was like a little butthurt, but you know what I mean.
Do you get credit on it still?
Nah, probably not. But
Ouch.
yeah.
So if it ever gets recorded and put out like as a major release, you get no love on it.
No, probably not.
Can you sue for that?
No, because we never copyrighted anything, so technically not. It's the Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, just get burned.
Yeah, I mean it's like, and it's not. Look, I'm proud of what we did and everything, and it's not. It wasn't. It just sucked the way it kind of went down too, because it was like I really enjoyed playing with them, and we were on fire at that time. Like we were getting booked. We got all these offers.
You guys were really hot for a little bit.
Yeah, we were hot for a minute, for like a hot minute, and we were riding that wave. And then I just wanted to do something different because I was like, hey, I've always been a performer. I've always wanted to do other things, and podcasting would be something that probably would have come up eventually. But I started doing stand up. And so I'd be caught at like open mics, for a long period of time because I wouldn't know when I was going up. I couldn't fucking say, oh, I'll be done at this. But if you had just stuck with me for like that first couple years,
just go through those hard points.
Yeah, then I
get you.
I would have been able to make it work. You know what I mean? Because now I can make my own schedule. Now I don't really do the open mics. Like now, do it with stand up. Like I'm only doing book gigs, so it's like I could work around everything else. And now I'm playing in another band.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that's something that you'd be able to get into right now again.
Yes, yeah, I mean, totally. Because I'm able to juggle certain things and do, I'm a terrible employee, but I'm a workaholic, right?
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. That makes sense for like 85% of America.
Yeah. If that makes it, you know what I mean? Like I'm constantly doing, putting up podcasts, writing, fucking stand up, doing shows and putting together other bar. I work with a bar, a brewery. I'm putting together their events, putting their events
just pushing
together.
yourself.
I just this is just shit I enjoy, So, and I enjoy playing. So now I'm playing again. So
what's the name of the band?
It's called Dick Neptune and the Rusties.
I haven't heard of this.
It's I'll play something for you a little bit later.
All right, yes.
Let's
do that.
It's kind of a collaboration of a bunch of different comics, really.
Oh, it's a comic band.
Yeah. So there's only one person in the band that's not a comedian.
What instrument do they play?
Bass.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I got that going on. And anyway, so in the height of doing Blaze the Thunder and playing and really fucking hungry for shows and being in that scene and all that stuff, that's when we met you guys.
Yeah.
And we met you when we actually had we had somebody else, some other bass player that wasn't my brother.
Was that the girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's when we met. And I think we met because of her. I think your brother might have known
because of
her.
Steven. Yeah, because of Steven.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Steven would go to your shows all the time.
Yes, he did, and I appreciate that very much.
Yes, thank you, Steven.
Thank you, Steve.
He was there.
He is watching. He said taking a shot every time Ryan says F Russia.
Which Ryan?
Ryan F. You.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. You know what? I almost forgot for a second that we're both named Ryan.
Yeah, exactly, right? Well, this is for Steven, but Russia. Russia, that's 6 shots. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. But anyway, that's when we met, and you went by Crimson, and we would start to go back and forth to each other's shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I would even set up. That was another thing that I realized I had a little bit of a not a talent for, but I guess so. But like putting on shows, like putting
proclivity for
promotions together and putting on. He said, "Fuck."
Half of me feels like he's actually gonna do it.
I know.
Now I'm worried. I shouldn't have done.
But it was really cool at that time to see you guys. It started feeling like we were a part of a scene, like seeing other bands show up to our shows and then other bands show. You know what I mean? That was my first time ever being a part of something like that.
A little bit of camaraderie.
Right. Okay. So after, and then, so my whole breakaway happened. But what happened with Crimson and then moving on into how
Solar Haze, how that
became
came
a
about.
thing. Yeah.
Well, there was, you probably remember our old bass player Adrian. There was a little bit of time where he left. We were looking for a bass player, so I would go on Craigslist like every morning, putting out bass player ads, looking up bass player ads.
Craigslist is that's how I met my
Well, I hear like so many stories of people having positive encounters through Craigslist. Like
Yeah.
the band High Priestess, they're a really popular band, right?
You played
They
with
met-
them at the 5-star, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they met on Craigslist.
Okay.
And we had so many bad encounters on Craigslist. We've just had musicians show up, and me and my brother would try to jam out on Metallica, and you could tell these guys have never jammed with other dudes before because they just can't get locked into a timing. They're just kind of standing there like cold fish.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
It was just really awkward and weird. But anyways, I'm going on Craigslist looking for bass players, and then I see an ad for they're looking for a drummer for a professional touring band. And it's pretty vague with the details. It just says that they want a drummer, possible overseas tours, and then at the bottom it says nobody under 30 to reply to the ad. And when I read that, I just for shits and giggles, I decided to respond to it because it was a paid overseas gig. I was like, yeah, if I can get it, I can get it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So I responded to it, and in the email I let them know I wasn't even close to 30. I was like 20, 21 back then.
Uh-huh.
And I told them in the most professional way that they weren't going to give a shit because I was good enough to cover that.
Okay.
And I show up to the audition, and it goes all right. The music that this chick played was ridiculous. It was
Yeah.
so it was kind of like a little
Yeah,
proggy.
that's what I was telling you. I saw some videos, and it was very operatic.
Yeah, like
And,
she called it Baroque metal, and it was like
Okay.
some
so
weird,
like a Russian folk.
some kind of
style,
weird stuff.
okay.
It was like she tried to be proggy, but the thing is she didn't understand what prog was, so it was very, very forced,
Yeah.
and it just was very stilted and weird. But I show up to the audition, and I'm able to play the songs like halfway decent, so I get the gig.
Uh-huh.
And while we're touring, we play with this band called Crimson Blue.
Mhm.
And as soon as I see that, I tell my brother that we can't be Crimson anymore. This name's just too generic. And we had a song at the time called Solar Haze. So I was like, this is good. It works as a name too. So I had to convince him to change it to Solar Haze because he was pretty
Yeah, Crimson is pretty generic though.
yeah.
And yeah, black anything, black.
Yeah, just any color.
Yeah.
Because you just bump those up with any other adjectives, and there you go. You got,
Yeah, you got a band name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We had one. I think I told you about this. No, it wasn't. Fuck. There's a band called Black Empathy that was actually pretty cool. Those guys were actually pretty cool. But
see, the thing is, like, you have a really good band, you shouldn't have a name.
Shouldn't have a name.
Really
that's-
distinctive. Really
Yeah,
stand
yeah.
out. Like,
I was thinking of Black Morning. That's another one that I.
oh, Black Morning. I remember them. They change
That-
their name like all the time though. Like every
Yeah, they
week.
did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were the ones that hated us.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't like us.
Why?
There was. I think I told you this on FamCast. But I don't give a fuck if I fucking throw their name out there either.
Do
Fuck
it.
these guys. There was some drama over. I mean, man, it was what 7 years ago now. But because we had a female bass player on
Your roster.
our roster at the time,
Yeah.
we had we didn't know. Oh no, we had forgotten. We didn't have a stand. We didn't have a mic stand, and we were playing a show together. And the fucking venue didn't have mic stands, but we had our own mic and cable. Just we had no stands.
Yeah.
So we didn't know. They didn't fucking tell us that we were, So we show up to the place, and it's some shithole fucking like Azusa or some shit like that, and it was like fuck. You've probably played there too, but it's probably something else now. I don't even think it lasted.
Was it the Tropics?
No, it was like Bar 602 or some shit like that.
Yes, I remember that place. 609.
609, yeah,
something like
some
that.
shit like that. Yeah,
I remember that
because it was
place.
the address. It was like just the 609 was like.
That spot was nice though. It was.
It was
pretty
cool.
Nice
No, it was
spot,
cool,
yeah.
but it was. I mean, it sucked.
It's weird because like the stage was nice and it had a
Yeah.
nice setup, but the overall shows were just
Yeah, so
It was your family and friends that you brought, but nobody else.
Yeah, I mean that. Luckily, because I was local, like a lot of people would come see us there. But anyway, so there was this show that we had with them, and we asked if we use their mic stand. So they were like, yeah, totally.
Okay.
You use their mic stand. But the girl that we were with was the one who knew that band. So she's the one who asked if we used the mic stand.
Okay.
So we used the mic stand, and then they took off. Like they didn't watch our set. Like they gave us the mic stand and left.
Okay.
And so we pack up and we leave and realize, shit, we forgot their mic stand.
You left it at the venue?
Yes.
Wow. This is amateur hour.
Yeah.
This is very amateur hour.
Yeah.
Continue.
And I went, fuck. And then I guess somebody took it because we tried to get it back the next day. And somebody, whoever was playing the rest of that night, ended up taking the fucking mic stand. So we were like trying to get it back and whatever. And then I asked, I don't want to say her name, but I asked her. I was like, hey, so, what are we gonna do about that? Because they're asking for it because they were sending me messages and shit like. That was her mic stand, yeah. And she's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll handle it. I'll just give them one. I have one. I have an extra one. I'll just give it to them." It's like, okay, cool.
I think we got wrapped up in this business too. I remember this now. We did get wrapped up in this. I remember this.
Dude, over a mic stand though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then she doesn't show up to recording sessions and stuff, and she's like kind of half in, half out type shit. So then
she doesn't show up to recording sessions.
To a recording session, she didn't show up.
That's rough.
Yeah, and that was it. Like that was like a breaking point for us, because it was like she was half in, like she was here, there, whatever. Like she'd show up to shows, wouldn't show up to practice, would be late, and it was.
Wait, she wouldn't show up to shows?
No, she would show up to shows. She would never miss a show.
Okay.
But like she was also like kind of not really fucking communicating with us and stuff. Like, well, we'd have a group text or something. Like, it was like a long time coming, So then by the time recording came, and she just didn't show up, So we were like,
were you paying for time?
Yeah, but we ended up. She was playing. Luckily, she played bass, so we just ended up
You could cover that.
doing basic bass, So,
yeah. The guitar player could play bass.
Exactly.
My brother did that.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then when we came out of it, we were just like, okay, well, we haven't heard from her, so she's out. And
what happens then?
And then, there's no there's no fight from her to like actually try and rejoin the band. You know what I mean? Like
she just lets it go.
Yeah, she kind of just lets it go.
Okay.
And then then I get a message. Then basically my brother was with us the whole time we were recording, right? And I knew my brother played bass, but I knew he didn't have equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally that week we were recording, I was like, buy a bass, buy an amp. You're fucking playing with us.
I remember when your brother joined the band.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And he was like, "Are you serious?" Like he was fucking so stoked about it.
Really?
Yeah. And because he was like my drum tech at the time, So
tech joining the band, classic story. It's classic story.
He was like my drum tech, and he was just super like he had nothing else going on, and I think this band was like, he was just kind of weaning off of I'm not gonna say what specific drug, but something. And
it happens. Musician.
He had a thing that so like he had something to look forward to, so he was always with us, to like.
How old was he?
I mean, he's my older brother, so he's 31.
I thought he was younger than
No, he's my older brother.
Oh.
Yeah, but I have a younger brother too that I've also jammed with, and we've brought it on stage. So maybe you're thinking of him.
No. I know the guy you actually played with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's my older brother, and so then that happened, and then we started playing shows. We have this new lineup, and then I get a message from this fuckface from fucking this band about the fucking mic stand.
What does he say?
It was like a more threatening message this time, and it was like it was very hostile.
In what way?
Like,
do you have it saved in your Facebook history?
I wish, because I blocked him afterwards.
Oh my God.
Because I laughed at him. I was like, dude, it's a $20 fucking mic stand, man. Like, and it was like one of those things where he's like, oh, I'll tell everyone about your reputation and how you fucking steal gear and all this stuff. And I kept, you know what it was? He kept messaging about it. And I kept saying, you know, talk to her.
Yeah.
Talk to her. She's the one who said she would replace it. She's the one who asked for it. So, then he was like, I did talk to her. She told me everything. And I was like, what are you talking about?
What the fuck?
and all this shit. And so I don't know what the fuck he's even talking about, but it got to a point to where it was like it was threatening our reputation in a sense, like in the scene, you know what I mean? Like
I had never heard any like disparaging things about you guys. Like back then, I didn't hear anything.
We were very respectful, very nice people, you know? I mean, we are. I mean,
You don't have to try to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just this dude just fucking had a fucking
an aneurysm over
fucking problem over a mic stand, you know?
I think we actually gave him the mic stand. I think we might have given him one. I vaguely remember us dropping off a mic stand for them. I think we dropped off a mic stand for them.
Really?
Yeah.
So they finally got their fucking mic stand back. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I owe you a mic stand.
Well, I mean, we obviously didn't give a shit. I mean,
it's a mic stand.
We
dude.
just lent them. I think we just lent it to them. I don't think we gave it to them. It's not a big deal. You gave me beers when I got here, so that's it. That's good. That's worth the $20.
Dude, okay, so that was the thing too. It was like he kind of so I screenshot the message, and my older brother's a fucking hothead too. So like, and so
was he ready to kick his ass?
Yeah,
he's gonna kick some underage ass to go to jail.
Yeah, and he was like, dude. Well, we were all in our 20s at that time. So
yeah, but these kids that were in this band were under.
Oh, they were.
Wait, were they under? Wait,
no, they couldn't have been. I mean, they were playing bars with us and stuff.
I played in bars when I was.
Oh, they probably were. Okay, so they probably weren't of the drinking age, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, these fucking guys. Maybe that's why I didn't know they were that young. Maybe that's why they sucked so bad. And
they were really young dudes, yeah.
And took it up the ass this way. But anyway, they ended up fucking.
They didn't last long.
They ended up contacting people ahead of time when they saw that this dude went. I can't remember his fucking name, but if I knew it, I would fucking say it because fuck him. He went.
I know their names, but I'm not gonna say it.
He went as far as to like see every single time we were playing somewhere and telling the fucking promoter that we stole people's gear.
Really? Did any promoters tell you this?
Yeah, so we'd show up to different venues and with different promoters, and they'd be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of this band? They say that you guys stole their gear." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, man?" And the thing is, these were people that we had reputations with already, that like we had relationships with, and they were cool, like for the most part. And like that was one of the guys was like, "Yeah," he's like, "Hey, can I talk to you, man?" I was like, "Yeah." And so like he pulls me aside and he's like, "I don't know what the fuck this is about, but you know, this dude hit me up and said that like, you know, I need to watch out for you guys because you know,
I need to watch out for you guys
and all this stuff."
That's bad wording,
and
right there.
But so he said that, but he said that that's what he was saying, and he was like, "So what is that about?" And I told him, I explained to him, I was like, "Dude, it's some other bullshit. It has nothing to do with like," I was like, "It's this guy just trying to like fuck with us, you know." And he was like, "Yeah." He's all, "I know. I thought like," he's like, "I've had you guys here like 5 times. Like, there's never been any problems. I don't get why the fuck." He's like, "And that dude's not even on the bill tonight." Like, he's like, "I thought it was weird.
He doesn't even go here." Yeah. It's tripping me out because I never heard anything about this at all, ever.
Yeah, it was like, dude, he really did he had a hair up his ass to try and ruin us for like a good hot minute.
Well, you're doing great.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it wasn't gonna bother. Even then, it wasn't gonna bother us, you know. But anyway, it was. Fuck
that was some kind of tangent.
It was crazy, man. I didn't understand it. Like, and then that was the thing too. Was like I even said it after he had ran his mouth a little bit. I was like, if you want to meet me personally, I'll give you I'll give you the $20 fucking it's worth, and I'll beat the shit out of you, dude.
Okay, there we go. I was waiting for that. I like that you said that. Okay.
I was like, you want to meet up? I'll give. No, actually, I didn't. Well, I didn't threaten to beat the shit out of him. I was like, you want to meet? I'll give you $20.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just knock him out and throw $20 on his lifeless corpse.
Fucking $20, bitch. Shut up. Get your goddamn mic stand.
You should have done that. That probably would have solidified your reputation. That wouldn't have been damaging. That's a big plus. Like right now, how I feel about you after hearing the story, big plus. Big plus.
But anyway, okay, I'm sorry. Back to you guys. That was a long tangent.
It's Ryan interviewing Ryan. It doesn't matter.
It
That's
is.
what the show is tonight.
But I'm gonna go off and say this, that I feel that Solar Haze is a much better band personally.
And the band they were?
Yes, than the band you guys were before.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
No, I mean like the band you were when we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I mean, you guys are solid. It's solid. Like, and I've seen you play live, and now you have a few other additions to the. You have one new guy in the lineup, two new guys in the lineup.
yeah.
And,
Well, I mean, the thing is, me and my brother have been doing this since we were like 13, 14. So this is just what we do. We just hang out and we'll play.
Yeah.
You know? We hang out and jam like a couple times a week, and then that's not including the band, the actual other members of the band.
mhm.
So me and my brother that's what we do. Like we hang out, music. That's it.
And you guys
And-
still live together?
No. No, I moved out of my parents' house like when I was 21.
Mhm.
With that whole Russia thing. See, because with
Oh,
that,
let's go back to that. Yeah, let's say
so
that about
with the Russia thing, because again, I was looking on Craigslist for ads for bass players, stumbled upon one for a band looking for a drummer.
it. By the way, hold on. Let me just interject here. Trying to find bass players is the fucking
It's
hardest
fucking
thing
terrible,
ever. Yeah.
dude. It's harder than finding a drummer.
We had one guy show up, play bass with us. I don't know when this was, where we were at. I think it was just me and Roberto. We were just getting off the ground, and we were like ready to play shows. We just needed a bass player, and we auditioned bass player after bass player after bass player, and it was like one guy after the other. It was either a fucking weirdo, or like
Yes.
Like-
yes. Been there. Been there.
or he could play, but was just kind of a little too egotistical.
Dude, there was this one guy that we jammed with. I think we met him off Craigslist. He was a drummer. And then we heard after that he was like banging girls in trash cans. And, like that was his thing. It was a trip. We were so we were jamming with him. This was back when I played guitar or bass. Whatever, doesn't matter. And he was a drummer. We were jamming with him. And this guy was a super cool dude. We were all chilling like, yeah, this guy's cool. This guy's dope. He had his own studio. And we stopped jamming with him for a while. And we were hanging out with some of our high school friends. And when we were talking about it, and they happened to know him, they're like, yeah, that guy's like super abusive with women, and like he would like have sex with his ex-girlfriend in the trash, in like the trash bin, the big old trash bin,
Oh, dumpster.
a dumpster, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
you ain't even gonna wash your mouth.
I need to wash my mouth after telling that story. I feel dirty.
God damn. Yeah, no, we had this guy come in, and he like we sent him all the material, and he showed up, didn't learn any of it, and then and he showed up, and he was like, and we booked the studio for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, so let's just try and work something out. Let's just start playing. And he just kind of stood there.
He just
and
watched you guys.
watched us, and he's like, you guys are good. And like he kind of like talked his way, and just kind of went. He's like, I'll just I'll see you my way out of here.
You intimidated a guy out of
Yes,
the room.
Yes. Yeah.
We haven't even done
He
that.
ended up leaving
Oh, you guys
because
must have been real good.
he like showed up, and Roberto and I were jamming, and then he just showed. He's like, yeah. I think he just like was like in way over his head, like didn't understand.
That's how our old bass player was actually in Crimson.
Oh, really?
For a while, yeah. But the thing is, he was our best friend, one of our closest friends. We hung out with him all the time, and playing music was like together was second nature. Like in high school,
Sure.
when we hung out with our friends, we'd play music and hang out. That was just a thing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we'd hang out with him, play music, and he wasn't as into it as we were. Like he knew that we wanted to take it as far as possible, and he just wanted to hang out and play music.
Mm-hmm.
But he still he stuck through. Like he would play live shows with us, and he took it as far as he could go. And then after that, for a while, we were just running as a two-piece, me and my brother.
I think it's because there's something that some people just don't have, like, which is like ambition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, not to like say anything about anyone.
No. I'm
say
sure.
anything bad
I'm
about
sure he's a
anyone.
great. I'm sure he's a great dude. But I'm saying like as far as
Well, even him or other people that who can't get to that particular
well, it's just
spot.
they get intimidated because they're afraid of failure.
Yeah.
You know,
or they just want the comfort of
of just being.
because being a musician is difficult.
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
like so much uncertainty, and even if you are actually like getting paid as a musician, there's still like you don't know how long you're gonna have your job, what kind of security you have.
Right.
Like Dave Lombardo, look at him.
Yeah.
He had no security, and he was in the Big Four.
Yeah.
No financial security, no job security.
Right. I mean, but he's Dave Lombardo. He can do whatever the fuck he wants now.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he just toured with the Misfits for. I mean, God knows.
Yes,
he
that's
didn't really
right.
have to.
Oh my God. That is a great. Oh my God.
And
so great to see.
and with Suicidal, he was with Suicidal.
Yes,
for
he
a-
was.
Yeah.
That's right. And he did like some kind of like Afro fusion projects.
Yeah, he did that.
He was into some real like
Okay,
intricate shit.
so let's back up. Okay, we were talking about bass players. What happened? She was you were with the Russia.
Oh, yeah. So I was just looking for bass players on Craigslist.
Uh-huh.
Happened upon the ad.
Oh, okay.
I was looking
Okay.
for a drummer, and I answered it. Went to the audition, and so I got the job, but I found out later, like this was way later, after the tour, that a couple weeks before the tour, the singer was still looking for other drummers trying to replace me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when I found out, I didn't feel like personally injured or offended by it. I was like, God, how stupid can you be? Because the music she played was crazy intricate. You're not gonna have a drummer learn that in 2 weeks and then go on tour.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the tour. So what ended up leading to? I mean, either you. What happened? You weren't able to stick around, and obviously she was trying to fucking replace you, but you and her didn't really get along, or what?
Well, she didn't get along with anybody. She really didn't. Like, she just had one of the worst personality I've ever seen in another human being.
Sure.
And
like what though? I want the
well,
fucking
okay,
nitty-gritty.
so just all right. So check this out. First night of the tour, very first night. So we're playing, and for obviously these people don't know.
Where's it at?
But we're playing in Russia, and we're opening up for Tarja, for the singer Nightwish.
Okay.
Her solo project.
Whoa, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and dude, the shows are huge.
Nightwish is dope.
Dude, we're playing for like a couple thousand people a night.
Yeah.
And so anyways, very first night of the show, we're hanging out like on the side of the stage. We're about to go on, and I'm like getting kind of the jitters. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm actually here. This is happening. This is crazy. Like, I'm in Russia. Yesterday I was in LA.
Yeah, that's a dream come true.
It was oh my God.
Dude,
yeah.
And that's another thing. I mean, I didn't mean to disrespect or fucking even like downplay anything that you were doing, because I mean, it was you were doing a European tour, and that's a big deal.
Oh my God, it was a huge, especially with Tarja,
Yeah.
ex Nightwish.
Yeah.
And, dude, her solo band, they were so good.
It's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, but anyways, first night of the tour, side of the stage, and I see Tarja. She's standing across from us with her band. She's like on the other side, and she sees me, and she like gives me this big smile, this big wave, and I'm like, I just get like this like happiest butterfly feeling in my stomach.
The happiest boner.
Happy. She was really sweet.
I
She was
just get this
great.
biggest boner.
Well, I mean, even
I'm able to play triple kicks.
well, I show it, dude. This is like one of the biggest
I know,
moments of my
I'm
life.
kidding.
Oh, I know you're kidding. You're kidding. And I see like this like legendary musician, and she's essentially saying like, "Oh, it's great to see you. Have a good show." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Even if it was a dude, I would have gotten a boner over that.
Yeah.
And so we go on stage. We killed it, and except for her antics. I'll tell you about her antics in a minute. But we go off to the side, go into the catering room, and in the catering room, Tarja, her little baby, is like maybe a year old. And she's in like a big old stroller.
Stroller?
Yeah. And she's with her like the nanny. And the singer of our band comes in, and she's cursing up a storm. She's saying, F this, F that, this stupid bitch, this stupid that. She's just going fucking on. And the baby
What
and
was her problem?
something about like her not being happy with like how much food there were, the food that they gave us.
What the fuck?
And she was just like going off like on this like cursed, Laden-filled tirade, and I'm sitting there just like, this nanny is gonna go back and tell Taria all about this. Our reputation is already fucked, and it's the first night of the tour.
Yeah.
And then even worse, like on the train that same night to go to the next city, she got drunk and like she went into their train cabin and was just pestering the shit out of them. I didn't find this out until like a couple days later.
Oh my god.
But yeah, our reputation was like pretty ruined for like the first week and a half of the tour. Everybody in like their crew, it was a huge production.
Yeah.
And none of them would talk to us. Like none of them would like acknowledge us. The crew manager, so we would be on stage. She would do this thing where she would play this 10-minute song to close the set and go 10 minutes over our stage time, which pissed them the fuck off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I would be playing and they would all be on the side with these flashlights shined on my face, just shining them around like get the fuck off stage. And I would feel so bad and just so embarrassed to be associated with like this insane shit that she was running. Like I didn't find this out until like a week and a half in, but her and the manager were telling like the crew manager and everyone that they had word from Taria's husband, who's running everything, that we could do this, we could do that, and it was no problem. And when they were telling me this, we were in Moscow about to go on stage for the sound check, and I'm just chilling. He's like, yeah, you need to like go and you need to talk to your manager because I just heard from blah 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 that he's saying this and that's just total bullshit. As soon as he tells this was like a moment where I could just be like, dude, these people are fucking crazy. Like, just don't deal with them at all. Like, if you need anything, just talk to us, talk to me and the guitar player.
Yeah.
And everything got repaired in like till the end of the tour, but
just by you saying that.
Yeah, and then like they would, instead of dealing with them, they would deal with us more. And then
yeah.
By the end of the tour, he would be telling me like, "Oh yeah, your singer, like, she's supposed to be here in the sound check, and she sent you guys early, but she's just hanging out getting drunk." And he would just be like going on about.
So she was more in love with the lifestyle than the actual music.
Dude, she told us she would constantly preach this philosophy of hers, like, we would have to put ourselves on a pedestal so the people would like think that, oh, they're rock stars, they're these big like unreachable people. And she was like, oh no, don't talk to fans, don't do this, don't do that. And she would get upset like when I would, because there would be like a few thousand people at the shows, and after shows like people would just be coming at us, asking for autographs and this and that.
Yeah. And
she would get upset. There was this one night, it was in St. Petersburg. This was when I realized that I couldn't be in this band any longer, that she was irredeemable. It was an irredeemable situation. There were these two girls that had been waiting for Taria to go there for a while, like I think they said for years.
So she had like a big online presence and like actually had. So I mean,
no, they just paid into it.
Okay.
They just paid into it. Okay. I think it was like $500,000 to buy into the tour. To like buy in, like, to everything for the management to pay in.
She's just some rich bitch from Russia.
I mean, it wasn't even her money. It was the manager's money, which was so this story with this. There's just stories within stories within stories.
I mean, I'm just trying to put everything together.
There's a lot to put together, but he was like her a piano student, and I don't know, she seduced him or he got super into her or whatever. I don't know the explicit details, but blah 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 blah. He's using his money to like manage her and promote her career.
Okay.
And when we would go practice, we would go up in like the Hollywood Hills. We would play in this like nice like mansion. She was neighbors with Chris Brown.
Fuck.
And
what?
When we would, all right, so we would walk in, and it's kind of like a lobby area at first. There's an elevator to the left, and like a couple flights of stairs to the right.
Yeah.
The elevator would take us up, and then there would be like this open area with a pool and stuff, and then there would be across from that the jam room. And she just had this like huge setup, and I found out after we left the band that they were actually, because the manager did like some kind of real estate stuff, and they were squatting in the place. And I didn't find that out until like way after I was out of the band.
Oh my god!
But it was some kind of like real.
That's fucking crazy.
They were, yeah, it was like some kind of.
Because maybe it was a house that he had a fucking listing on.
Yeah, and it was some shit like the people didn't.
Oh my god.
But they weren't involved in the house or anything.
Oh
so.
my god.
Yeah. I retroactively became like terrified
Yeah.
because that's just not
That's
a situation anyone wants to be in.
Next level fucking like break. I mean, not even breaking the law, just like kind of
Dude,
delusion.
everything she did was next level delusion.
Yeah, delusion.
Everything she did was. Check this out. Delusion 101. Okay, so this is like near the end of the tour. And the guitar player of the band, Patrick Morton, he played with Solar Haze for a while.
Oh,
like
okay.
For a while after this, he came and
That's the guy that I met.
yeah, long straight hair.
The guy with the
Patrick
beard?
Yeah. He came on HumCast.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick played
Nice
with
guy.
us for a little bit. I love him, great guy.
Yeah.
And
You guys leave on good terms. He's not in the band anymore, is he?
no, he left the band to he's focusing on like schooling and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no, great terms. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, what track was I on?
You were talking about he was playing with this Russian band that you were also with, and that's why he joined Solar Haze.
Yeah, and
Okay, so what?
there was this one day, and this was like I think maybe the third to last show, and the night before, oh my god, another story. So the night before,
Okay.
we're playing. I forgot what city we're playing in, and she had this habit of showing up late to sound check drunk. Like she would fucking slaughter bottles of wine, and she would show up like 50 minutes late to an hour sound check.
50?
Already down a bottle of wine.
Oh my god.
And here's the thing that would happen every single show. And going back to how I said there was antics in the first show that I would bring up later, she would show up late to the sound check, piss drunk, only 10 minutes in. She couldn't set up her keyboards or her vocals properly.
Oh, man.
So during the show, she would be yelling at and directing the sound guy in the middle of songs, in the middle of the set, trying to get him to set levels. Like, she would stop singing to be like, more drums, less drums, more guitar, more vocals, less vocals. Whole entire sets. And I was so embarrassed, especially when she would say stuff like more drums, less drums. And I knew she wasn't saying
Because you already sound checked.
Yeah, and I knew she wasn't saying anything about like my performance, but it still felt like awkward. Like, is she trying? It sounds like she might be talking trash to me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But this night before, she it was so bad she didn't even make sound check, and the whole night she is going on a tirade on the sound manager, a straight up tirade
while you're doing your set.
While we're doing the set, she's like, "You need to set this up and this up. This isn't right. I can't hear my vocals. Blah 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 blah." And like in the middle of songs, in the middle of like where she's supposed to be singing, she's just going on this tirade. And the funny thing is, like, if you see videos of the tour, each video is like 20. We had like a 30-minute set. Each video is like 26 minutes. This video is like 2 minutes, like a minute 40 seconds, because that's how much material they had to cut out that they couldn't use. She was just going crazy. And at the end of that set, I didn't even want to be on stage anymore. Like, we're doing the big rock ending for the last song, but I just hit my cymbal and I just walk off.
Mm.
And the guitar player follows me, and she's just like hanging her head and just like, what's going on? And the next morning she comes into our hotel room, me and the guitarist are staying together, and she's saying, you know, I think you guys are just having too much fun when you're playing. When we come out here, like, this is business. We're here on business. We're not coming out here on vacation. This is a job. And this is what gets me. She says, I'm quoting this to you. This is quote from memory. She says, "You look too much like Taria's band. You need to stop that." And as soon as she said that, I'm thinking, so you're saying that we look too much like the headliners,
like professionals
that are selling out these theaters, and you're saying we need to stop acting like that. Are you hearing yourself? And I didn't even say anything to her. Like, this is all going on in my head, but I'm just looking at her like, this bitch is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I always had that thought in my head, obviously, all the time.
Yeah.
But it was just fucking going off.
So how many dates? How many gigs? And what period of time?
It was over the period of a little more than a month. It took place in...
So maybe like 20 dates?
No, a little less. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm trying to imagine because I have the T-shirt with the tour dates. I'm trying to think. I don't know, maybe like 10 to 12 dates. But anyways, as soon as she she told us that we looked too much like the headlining band, like that's when I knew that I was gonna tell her something eventually. And then 2 shows later, on the very last show of the tour, we're like hanging out like right before we go on stage, and she's just like, "All right, this is the last show of the tour. Let's go on there, and let's give them a show. Let's do this. We're a band. Let's do this." She's trying to give us some like band talk,
Like a pep talk.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you go on stage, and I'm telling her this. I'm actually telling her this. I'm saying these people are like, you will go on stage and like you complain about the sound, and you're like, I'm constantly complaining to the sound guy in the middle of when you're supposed to be performing, and these people are paying money to come see us perform, and you're going on. That's not how a show should be. That's not what you should be doing.
At this point, you already know you're probably not going to work with these people again, right?
Oh, not probably. Like,
yeah.
There was like halfway into this tour, we already knew we were out, and we
Yeah.
were just surviving
Yeah.
for the rest. But I'm telling her this, and I'm just telling her that I think these people paid to see this show, and you can't be doing this. And she's going on. She's like, "Oh, but you know, I just can't hear myself, and you know, it's just not good that I can't hear myself." And I'm like, when I play shows back home with my brother, we play shitty ass venues where we can't hear shit.
You can't hear shit.
I don't stop playing.
You fucking play. Yeah.
You just go through it, and I'm telling her that. She's like, "Oh, well, but you know, I need to hear myself." Blah 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 blah. We go out, we play the set, and then after, I'm like behind them. We're all going into the green room, and then she's like, "Oh, I just need to talk to my guitar player 1 second," and she like stops me from going into the green room.
Oh my god!
And she closes the door and locks me out. So I'm like, whatever. So I just go on. I'm just hanging out like the side of the venue. Patrick comes down, and he's just telling me like, "Yeah, dude, she's saying that she wants you out of the band when we get home, and she just thinks that you're not metal enough, and she needs someone that's more metal." And it's like, damn, this chick is fucking stupid. And she didn't know that he was gonna leave the band too. He was gonna join Solar
was
Haze.
he telling you this as like yeah, he was gonna leave anyway, or?
Well, because me and him, like, we already resigned ourselves to the fact that we were leaving the band as soon as we got home.
Yeah.
So when he's telling me this, he's just, I mean, he's just telling me just because we already knew we were leaving and no one really gave a shit. So he was like, "Yeah, she wants to kick you out." I'm like, okay, she's dumb. We're already gone. She doesn't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the actual moment, like when we actually left the band, was one of the most terrifying moments of my life. I'm not exaggerating in any way, shape, or form.
What?
I know how people in horror movies like Friday the 13th feel. I felt that. When we went to leave... it's a trap! I like it's that. A trap! She,
Sorry.
Well, she didn't even...
I had to just throw one in there. Anyway,
just throw in as many as you can. She didn't know that I was going to show up to her place. Because as soon as we got to the airport and landed, she cashed me out. And Patrick's like, yeah, she's going to try and invite some drummers, but I think I'm just going to leave the band. So we go, me and my brother take him. We show up to the spot. And all of his gear is there, so we have to go there to pull out all of his gear. And he has a lot of gear.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. So we're going up in the elevator, going up to the top to leave. And my heart, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. My heart feels like it's pounding through my chest. I'm sick to my stomach. Legitimately sick to my stomach.
And this is going up because he's going to quit or because you're going to quit?
Well, I wasn't in the band. She had
already decided
that I wasn't in. But
right.
Yeah, we were going to quit, and he was agreed that he was going to quit anyways. But this elevator was so slow. It was only going up like 2 stories, but it was like an hour long. And we finally get up there, and Patrick, the guitar player, goes into the space first, just like everything's normal. And then I give him a couple seconds, and then I walk in. And when I walk in, I look at her face, and it's this look of just utter shock and dismay. Absolute, like, she's just like, "Oh, what are you doing? I didn't know you were going to be coming here." And Patrick, as soon as she did that, he was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving the band. I'm just going to pick up my gear. I'm going to leave the band." And as soon as he said that, she literally falls to the couch next to her. Like, she just drops, and she falls into the couch. And as soon as that happens, that's when my brother walks in.
Oh, my God.
And my brother just walks in, and he just starts grabbing Patrick's gear and walking out.
Yeah.
And we just grab and we just start walking out. And the whole time she's like, no, you can't mean this. You can't really mean you're going to leave the band. And for a second, he was going to stop and actually talk to her. But one of the things going in was like, don't entertain her. Don't let her talk. Because when she talks, she will trap people.
Yeah.
So he stopped. I saw this, and he like kind of just like looked, and then he kept going. I was like, damn, that was ice. I felt it in my heart. But we left, and we went down the slow ass elevator again. And we were all panicking that she was gonna run down the stairs and meet us when the elevator opened.
Yeah.
She didn't. We leave. These asshats can't fit his amp into the car, so they're panicking like crazy.
Into Steven's small ass Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, the little blue one. Oh my!
He's the one. He commented my small ass Toyota Corolla '86.
They were panicking like crazy to get that in there, and then they get it in there. We start driving. We drive maybe like 10 feet, and then Steven just looks back and he yells, "Oh fuck!" And then we all freak out like, holy shit, she's chasing after the car. And he runs out of the car. He opens the door and he runs out of the car. We're like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? And we look over and he just left the door open. He was being courteous, I guess. But that sudden, him just turning back, yelling and bolting out of the car, that shit was uncalled for. And then on the way, so the thing is, his house was up in the hills. And on the way down is like really tight, narrow lanes.
Sure.
And as we're going down, we have to go like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And on the way up is the manager of the band. And we cross each other for like 10, 15 seconds. And he's just looking at us. And we're just looking at him. And we all trip out. And we're all freaking out. And then 10 seconds later, he starts blowing up the guitar player's phone trying to call him.
Oh, my God.
Doesn't answer the calls. And like maybe the next day, this guy, because Patrick hadn't gotten paid yet.
Oh fuck.
So the manager starts sending him like very threatening and abusive emails telling him like, we're not going to pay you, we can't believe you would do this, like, and then he's like, Ryan is poison, Ryan is like disgusting, we can't believe that you would let him influence you in this way, and we're not going to pay you because blah blah blah. And we had signed contract before we went, which is beyond ridiculous. And he just like, these emails are huge emails. And then he sends me one telling me like, oh, you're a disgusting person, like you're a snake and you're never going to have a career in music because blah, 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 blah. He's just spitting venom.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care. I was just pissed off that they were threatening not to pay Patrick.
Yeah.
And
because you had already gotten paid because they didn't want to have to deal with you afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe like about a week into it, like they relented and they paid him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we completely just cut ties, moved forward. Yeah. And that's when we started. That's when we really took off with Solar Haze.
It's fucking crazy, man.
That's not even like half of it. That's not even half.
The stream's gonna keep running, but I'm gonna go grab a beer real quick. So
I'm gonna take a quick break too.
Why, you gotta piss?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, actually, what I'll do is while Ryan goes to take a piss, and you're on Spotify. Are you on iTunes? SolarHazeBand.bandcamp. Okay. So we're gonna play a song by Solar Haze. Solar Haze Band. .bandcamp.com. And Ryan's got a piss, and this is my intro song. This is called Hawk in the Wind, and that's what we're gonna play. We're gonna play the whole song right now as we take a break on the live stream, and we'll take a little break from this recording sesh as well. Excuse me. And that was Hawk in the Wind by Solar Haze,
Solar
guys.
Haze. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Speaking
dude.
of Solar Haze. Yeah. Are you gonna keep cutting me off with that? Yeah. I like how the soundboard answers itself. We do have a show coming up. It's Tuesday, August 14th. We're playing in San Diego at Winston's with our really good
Winston's,
friend.
where's that at? I'm very familiar with San Diego.
It's on Bacon Street.
Which area of San Diego? Because there's like all these like subdivisions. Bacon. What did you say? Baker?
I think
Bacon?
Oceanside.
Oceanside. Oh, okay. Oceanside.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the name of the street. I'm just reading off what's on the flyer.
All right, gotcha.
But we're playing with our really good friends in Mortar. They're a two-piece.
Mm-hmm.
They play really heavy like bong ripper type stoner doom.
Cool.
Class act dudes, great band.
Have you guys played with
Sixes?
I'm like fucking drawing a blank. It's my cousin's band. Belgrave.
No, we haven't.
Have you, yeah, that's my. You know, that's Old Shepherd, right? You know, they just changed their name.
Oh, well, we've played with them, yeah. But we haven't played with them in the new form.
Okay, well, you played with them at the Hump Fest that we did, but you played with them outside of that?
Yeah, we played with them at an airfield. It was.
Oh, that's right, in Riverside. That's right.
Yeah, they were having some kind of event there. They were like flying planes. You could take plane rides.
Yeah.
And they would go take off on the strip and fly around the airfield.
Oh,
It was
nice.
It was like a legit airfield.
Yeah.
They had hangars. They had the strips.
Sweet.
And they had all this crazy like World War II like historical artifact stuff. Like they had like these big old World War II Jeeps, and they
Yeah.
had the manuals that showed you like how they ran.
Nice.
That shit was crazy to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Solar Haze you're gonna be in San Diego.
Yeah. Our booking has slowed down this last month and a half.
Why is that? Just
It's just a natural. A lot of people are really
Yeah.
busy at this time.
Yeah.
But back in like June and May, and we were playing like every weekend, every other weekend, a couple shows. We're playing a lot of shows like every month.
yeah.
We were really busy. But
So when you transition from like, okay, you did this like European little tour,
yeah,
and now you're back home, you decide to start up a band with your brother again. Well,
continue
a band with your brother, and this starts. I mean, it starts to take form. Like, does it make you feel bad that you're not really? You kind of got to start from scratch after being a paid musician.
No,
or,
I didn't feel bad. The only thing.
I mean, obviously it sounds like you went through hell with that woman and all that other stuff.
it was
But
a
but
lot.
at the same time, you were already you kind of skyrocketed
Well, yeah.
to the point of
It
where
was-
you want to be, and
Yeah.
then you're coming back down and starting over, right?
I had like I was very aware that I had like jumped past the whole club bar circuit onto this whole level. And when I came,
fucking man, as a drummer, man,
it was
that's
insane.
it's gotta feel so good,
Dude,
like doing those.
Me and my brother played a show with our band, Crimson, at the time, like the weekend before I left.
Mm-hmm.
And we played that show, and there was like, it was in like some kind of like Spanish Latin club. It was a really weird setup.
Yeah.
And we played underneath the club, and there was like 5 or 6 people there. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be playing in Russia on a legit tour in a week.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about like there's like 5-6 people watching me. I'm like, there's gonna be a couple thousand people watching.
But that
me.
also, it's also a testament to show you what the fucking huge difference between being a musician in the States and being
Oh
a
my
musician
God.
in Russia.
Overseas, anywhere overseas,
Dude, they appreciate any form of art like so much more than out here.
They really
man.
do.
It's really fucked.
Dude, the very first show that we played on the tour, it blew my mind because nobody knew who we were. Nobody knew who the fuck we were. And we all walk on stage, and as soon as we walk on stage from the side and like we become visible, everybody's like cheering like we're their favorite band.
Yeah. But that's
And
because they just want to see the
Yes.
fucking show. Yeah.
Yes. And like you come here, and I mean now like in the last like 2 years, things have been getting pretty nice in LA. They've been getting pretty decent.
Yeah.
In terms of the music
There's
scene.
a good with the internet and social media and stuff, like it's creative, like it's finally found itself. You know, when I mean, like 8 years ago, 6 years ago, when I was doing my thing, it really hadn't become
It
a
wasn't
community.
even close.
Yeah,
Wasn't even close
yeah,
yet.
yeah. So like now there's a well fucking nourished community.
Yeah.
So to where like people who understand music and want to listen to music and see live bands, they know they can't get it from the fucking radio out here. So they know that they have to go to the clubs. So they join, Facebook groups and fucking follow.
Oh my god, dude! Facebook groups have been blowing up recently, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And
So many people do Facebook groups and they're constantly sharing new bands, new music.
bands, new music. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I love that
exactly. It's a
stuff.
very old school fucking like underground type.
It's like
of
newsletter
situation.
type stuff.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
and it's great. And it's like, dude, I mean, I mean now, especially because Vicky, my fiance, plays in a band, in a punk band in East LA. I mean, it's like I come across so many fucking great bands that I'm like, oh fuck, I would go see those guys again.
Dude, there are tons of bands that we play with. I'm like, I would be here watching these bands if we weren't
Right,
playing.
if you
They're
weren't
fucking
playing, yeah.
Bands like the Rare Breed,
Well,
Mountain Tamer, those kind of bands are fucking great.
not to take anything out of Solar Haze, because Solar Haze is a great fucking band.
Good band. It's a good band.
It's a good band, guys. If you're watching or listening, you need to check out Solar Haze. They're playing we're playing in San Diego.
August 14th.
They play in LA regularly.
We have shows lined up in like September and October. We're gonna get it all set and then we're gonna put everything out there.
Great, man.
But yeah, Solar Haze has been we've been kind of putting slowly the pieces together for our next album.
Great. This new one. Okay, so everybody, I just told you the website as I was typing it out. You can go to solarhazeband.bandcamp.com.
Yes.
And you can hear their whole debut album.
The entire debut album's like 8 songs?
It's 8 songs, yes.
Me and my brother, we wrote a lot of these songs when we were like 19, 18, 19.
That's great. Don't you feel proud having it all, down and out?
It's crazy. Like we did just this past weekend, we started teaching our bass player a new song, but we had written this song and we were performing it when we were like 19 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of like it fell by the wayside.
So how much older? So you're what, 25?
Yes.
So your brother is my age, 28.
26.
He's 26?
Yeah, he's 1 year older than me.
Fuck.
He's just 1 year older than me.
Oh my god! So you guys went to high school together? So
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're really, really close then. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously.
We hung out together in high school.
Okay.
In the same group, which was really shitty because when he graduated, I was fucked.
Yeah.
I had no
Yeah.
friends.
So would you say that, like, for me, I mean, I got 2 siblings. I have 2 brothers as
Yeah.
well. But I didn't become friends with my brothers until I was out of high school.
My brother hated me for the longest time. He thought I was some kind of like just leeching on his social life piece of shit. He would hate me when we would go out. Like he would go to the movies with his friends. Like, oh, I want to go, mom. Tell him that I can go too. And he's like,
Yeah.
you have to take your little brother.
Especially
to
in
the
high
movies."
school.
This was in middle school.
Well,
And he
that's
hate-
when it's not okay.
No, it wasn't okay at all. Now looking back at it, I was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I was a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, you were the younger brother. That's your job.
Yeah. Well, I have it. And then when I was 12, our younger brother was born.
Oh, so you guys have a younger sibling?
Yeah, he's 13 now.
Oh, okay.
So I have a younger brother that's a piece of shit. I completely get how it is. I completely understand it. This kid's the fucking worst.
Yeah, me and my older brother, man. My older brother was a huge bully to me, growing up.
Really?
He was really bad. He was the worst.
Hands? We put hands on you?
Dude, man. We get in physical fights, but I had he had 4 years on me, so he was always bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so it was like, man, he was such a piece of shit to me. God.
No, Steven wasn't like wasn't like a bully.
No, he's a
or
huge
anything.
bully. He would like take my things. He would break my stuff just to do it.
He would give you wedgies in front of the girls you had crushes on.
Well, not like he wasn't like TV bully. It
No.
was
Like an 80s Stephen King movie bully.
no, yeah, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
No, it was more like it was just like at home. He would just it was like
He would just punk you.
it was a power move, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and now we're good friends. We're fucking
Yeah.
we're cool. We played in a band together now. And, that band, like, seriously, like, probably put the best relationship on us like I would have ever asked for.
Forged in fire.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
weird, you know, because like it was we grew this acceptance of each other and like love for each other
Mhm.
so much more than anything else than playing music together.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be in a good band, you have to have that kind of camaraderie with the people you're in the band with.
Right, exactly.
You can't be in a band with. I mean, you can be in a band with people, but at the same time, like it's not really gonna work or be helpful long term.
It was also one of the first times he had ever kind of stepped aside and like knew that I was the leader. You know what I mean? If that
must
makes
have been a big dick
if that
move for
makes
you.
any sense, like you know,
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
like because I you know our singer guitar player had a language barrier, and you know he's from Mexico City.
Okay.
So there was that, and so I would take over his lyrics. I'd rewrite his stuff, and then and it was like it got, and he and I would work the most, and then my older brother had to kind of just be on the. He'd have to just kind of be on the sidelines and you know throw his input in where he could, but it was like he took a huge step aside to kind of let us guide that band.
Well, that's. I mean, that's great on him for like not knowing his
knowing
place,
his place.
but
No,
knowing his
exactly.
place.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's why it worked. Dude, it worked so well at that moment. Like at
Mhm.
that time, at that point in time, it was like.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me and my brother. I mean, the roles are.
Well, the fact that you guys are closer in age, I feel like I mean, has a lot to do with it, and it helps that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, because a lot of the things we do, like, since we're so close in age, if we don't do it together, like, it comes kind of parallel. Like when
Yeah.
when I learned how to play guitar when I was 12, our neighbor, he got us into like Misfits and punk and stuff,
Yeah.
and he showed me how to play guitar, and I would play guitar all the time, and then my brother was like, oh well, I guess I won't learn to play guitar then. So my brother learned how to play guitar,
For sure.
and it just kind of took off from there. But me and my brother, yeah, like we have a very
There's
very
a-
fluid in the sense that we have our set roles in the band,
Sure.
but I don't want to say power, but some shit goes back and forth.
Well, the thing that's always going to happen with you guys, because you're related and because you're brothers, like everyone's always going to go to the both of you as being the
We're-
all-bearing fucking. You're gonna.
Yeah, well,
you guys are the heads of the band.
We are, yeah, we are.
It's just because there's two of you, like that's that's what's always gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because you started the band together, right?
All,
I mean,
all the songs so far,
I
we've
mean,
all.
it's all
written.
yours.
Yeah.
So you're always gonna, you two, and if you two can't, not to bring out the worst, but if you two can't fucking get along, then the whole thing falls apart.
Oh my god, yeah. I can imagine what it would be like if we didn't get along. I mean, at worst,
It's
like,
great. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I've had so many friends that don't talk to their siblings and shit like that. You know.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know
That's
people
the
like
kind of
that.
shit that I can't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, like I love my brothers and my brothers and my sister, like, and I have a cousin who's now estranged with his brother that we grew up with, and I went to his wedding, and I was like, "Where's Jonathan?" He's like, "Fuck that guy."
That is
And I-
ice cold.
And I was like,
now.
dude, what? He's like, yeah, he's supposed to be my best man. Fuck him. I was like, oh my god. All right.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything like that in my family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty. Everything's pretty placid with us. There's nothing
Well,
crazy
you both
like that.
seem even keeled. You know, like was there any sort of?
No.
I think.
I'm not even killed at all. Fuck no. No, man, I'm all over the place. It's terrible.
Really. I mean, I would imagine it from Steven.
No, I'm the one. I'm the unstable one.
Really.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so anybody listening and watching, Steven's Ryan's older brother who plays guitar in Solar Haze.
Yeah, he plays guitar and he sings.
And he sings. And he
Yeah.
writes, yeah.
And he wrote, pretty much everything on the album. There was one point in the album. What song is it? It's slipping my mind. I wrote. Oh no, it was "Hawk in the Wind." I wrote a little piece of it, like a little 5-second interlude.
Yeah, okay.
And that's all that I had. That's all that anybody else has on the album that's not my brother's. But other than that, like I have like a little piece that I wrote on there.
Do
But
you guys copyright everything?
doesn't it get copyrighted when you put it on Bandcamp?
Uh,
Well, if not,
I mean,
if not, Steven's gonna have it copyrighted by the end of this broadcast.
I mean, technically yes, but not technically.
Don't start putting that fear in me. I don't need it. I don't need it.
I'm not trying to. I just, like now doing comedy for so long, like I seriously have been thinking about copywriting jokes, because
How does that work? Do you just like write a script and then copyright
well, the thing
it?
is, since you already have a recording, the thing is I have to get a decent recording.
Oh.
Like, so let's say I did a comedy album.
Yeah.
And I put it out. I have to put my name on it, copyright it, so no one else can do those bits.
What is the process of copywriting like?
It's very fucking complicated. I used to work at a firm that dealt with it's called intellectual property, so it's fucking trademarks, copyrights, and it's like, but the thing is,
that sounds like so much.
But the thing is like, you can copyright anything.
Mm-hmm.
You hire a lawyer good enough, he'll find his way around it.
Around the copyright?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No matter what, unless you hire a lawyer good enough to cover every fucking base.
Power moves.
That's what my firm did.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you wanted to copyright something. So you go to my firm, you're like, I want to copyright fucking, I don't know, dick drawings.
I do want to copyright that.
You want to trademark it. So that would be a trademark, actually.
Yeah.
So copywriting would be something different. But so there'd be a trademark. So they're like, okay. So you go to them, you pay them, and they cover every base to make sure no one else can draw a dick without owing you money.
That seems kind of a little like a monopolistic.
Yeah, of course.
You're just gonna copyright dick drawings in general. You get some.
I mean, I'm just using it as an example.
Get some big money from Superbad.
As an example. But
are you a Dodger fan?
Yes.
Did you watch the game? Did you see the game today?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see how the Dodgers almost got no hit?
Are you serious?
Dude, he was on the last out.
Who they playing today?
The Braves.
The Braves.
Sean Newcomb throwing.
I get the updates. Here's the fucked up thing. I'm a huge Dodger fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in LA. You grew up in fucking LA.
Yeah.
And I can't watch the fucking Dodgers on my TV.
You can watch them when they play the Angels.
Dude, fuck. It's so fucking irritating. So literally all my followings are on my phone.
Yeah.
So every time I just get the updates.
Well, let me give you a quick little cheat. So you can go on Reddit, and they have
that's what my brother told me.
Reddit sub forum thing, and it's called MLB Streams. And for every game that day, they have listed all the different online streams.
My brother told me the same thing.
And they're all streaming from MLB TV, the network. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you're getting all the broadcast straight from the system. And I showed my dad that, so that's how my dad's been watching Dodger games. That's how we were watching the Dodgers play today.
I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out on this Fire Stick thing.
Oh my god, dude. That's easy, but that's perfect right here.
Yeah.
This is such a nice
So I have the
TV.
Fire Stick, and but I mean, even with hockey, like I'm a big Kings fan, so I don't have cable, so I had to have somebody just like give me their login for like Fox Sports, so I could because for the hockey playoffs. That's not nearly as hard as the fucking Dodger games because of the Spectrum fucking.
Oh my god.
The whole Spectrum bullshit.
Yes. Dude,
God,
they're blocked
man.
out. They were blocked out on TBS. It's
Dude,
ridiculous.
Even if you get the MLB app on any fucking device, the Dodgers
blocked
aren't
out.
on it.
Yes. And at this point, I don't even understand how it got this far.
It's crazy. And now they're talking about doing something else, but it's like they're talking about doing another thing with MLB. But I'm almost,
It's
guaranteed.
weird because they got a TV deal right before this happened, back in like 2012, 2011. They got a big like $12 billion TV deal, and then right after that, you can't see the Dodgers on DirecTV.
Dude,
TV
Spectrum
anymore.
wouldn't exist if it weren't for LA fans.
Right?
And now they have a deal with the fucking Lakers. And now that what's his name, fucking LeBron James moved to the Lakers.
A Lakers channel.
So now they're gonna.
Is there one already?
It's specific Spectrum channel that you can get all Laker games on cable.
Nice.
So I mean,
like
it's not exclusive the way the Dodgers are,
Yeah.
but there's gonna be a
Are you a
specific-
Laker fan?
I am, but I'm kind of a fucking bandwagoner. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like my dad was always Dodgers, Lakers. But the thing with sports, dude, I always tell people this is like, we never had a football team. We never had a football team.
Nope, not until the last 2 or 3 years.
So, yeah, I mean, well, you grew up in the same era I grew up, so it was like I never had a football team. So.
I enjoyed the Packers.
So my dad, well, when I say my dad, I'm talking about my stepdad. But my dad was always Lakers Dodgers, right? So we always watched the Lakers and the Dodgers at the house. We never went to games though.
Games are so, I mean, especially at Dodger Stadium, it feels like it's kind of an inconvenience.
I love Dodger games.
I love Dodger games too, but not at Dodger Stadium. I'll watch them at Angel Stadium. Love that shit.
Angel Stadium's so nice.
Yeah, dude. You go to Dodger Stadium, and I remember I went for
I'm with you. You know why, though? You know why we agree on this? Is because we're suburban LA guys?
No.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Dude, that's why. You talk to anybody, look at where we're at right now. We're in East LA right now. We grew up, but I grew up in San Gabriel Valley. You grew up in San Gabriel Valley. So we feel this way. But you talk to any of my neighbors, trust me, they will never step foot in Angel Stadium.
Why? They don't like nice things?
No, they're just so fucking prideful. They're like, fuck that. Fuck.
I have no problem going to Dodger Stadium. It's just that, like, it's a piece of shit, and I understand that.
It sucks.
I'll go into there. Like, last Dodger game I went, I wore my Angels jersey. And
you're an Angels fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, more than a fan.
I thought you were a Dodgers fan. That's why I was telling you that.
I do sports writing. I
do
cover
you?
the Angels. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing it for I've been doing it since college. Back in like 2012.
Well, we're gonna have to end this interview here because you're an Angels fan.
Well, I enjoy the Dodgers too.
I'm kidding. Obviously,
But
I'm not even that fucking. I'm not that guy.
No, I know. I could tell. Well, I was hoping you weren't that guy. But
I mean, like, I don't fucking care. Like, it's sports.
Yeah, you don't let it get caught up in your personal life.
It's like so many people like. But you know what I find myself doing sometimes? I'll go to a different place. Like I was in I spent like a week in San Francisco, and I catch myself hating somebody for wearing like a fucking Golden State jersey,
yeah,
or a Giants hat, and I'm just like, but I'm in your house,
yeah,
and I'm just like, fucking asshole, fucking wearing that piece of shit.
It's like they're showing up in your town.
Exactly, and I have no reason to be upset.
Narcissist, yeah. Self-absorbed.
Fucking LA, dude, does it to you.
Well, I mean, maybe if you're a Dodgers fan, not if you're an Angels fan. I'm totally free of that curse. I'm not fooling myself.
Oh, shut up.
Well, because the thing is, Angel fans get shit on our faces every year, all the time. You guys are constantly up on a high horse. All the time the Dodger fans are on a high horse. Even when they're losing, they're on a high horse about losing. Like earlier in the season, like, oh, the season's over, fuck it, they're 10 games back, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you guys, you need to chill the fuck out. 10 games isn't a big deal. You could cover that in a month and a half.
Yeah.
And I would tell my dad, he would be going on about how, oh, the season's over, the Dodgers aren't going to the playoffs, fuck the Dodgers. And then a month and a half later, where are they? They're tied for the lead, and then a few weeks later, they're in the lead.
The most heartbreaking thing that I've ever gone through was sitting in a living room with my dad and my brothers, finally watching the Dodgers in a World Series together, like and watching them eat a fat fucking dick for 9 innings, dude.
The last game, Game 7, wasn't even a game.
Was not.
Which is the most disappointing thing ever.
It was fucking awful, dude.
I was so disappointed that they started Yu Darvish after he had been shitting himself.
For 3 innings, they left him in.
He shouldn't have been playing. It should have been Alex Wood, maybe Clayton Kershaw.
They should have brought out Kershaw for like, you know, for the beginning of the game, and then brought somebody else out at the end.
Kershaw was dealing in that game when he came in to cover for Yu Darvish.
At the end.
Yeah, I mean,
too little, too late.
I'm just saying, if he started, then he probably would have.
That's what I'm saying.
They were losing, so maybe he didn't give a shit. That's why he was so good. Because when they win, you saw, dude, in the World Series, was it Game 4 or 5? He
was hurt. He fucked up his shoulder.
He blew 2 leads in that game. He blew a 4-run lead. The Dodgers get the lead back, and then he blows a 3-run lead.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. That's bullshit from your ace, from your number 1 pitcher.
Right.
I don't understand.
Well, that's why they left him out for like 3 games.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's why they didn't start him Game 7 either. But Clayton Kershaw's been doing that for years and years and years. Back when they played the Mets,
the
Cardinals, and I don't know. feel like Dodger fans are starting to get. I hear a lot more chatter about how Clayton Kershaw it sucks now from Dodger fans.
Well, he's old. He's too old for baseball.
Here's the thing.
For pitching.
He's like 29, 30,
Right.
maybe 31.
But that's too old for pitching.
It is, but also he's been pitching since he was like 19.
Right. So
Since
that's
like
10
1920 in the majors, not like minor league
Right.
baseball, in the majors. So he already has like the arm of like a 40-year-old, just because he has and he will put 200 innings on his arm each season. That guy, his arm is made out of glass at this point. You saw him in the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with basketball too. I mean, we get these players that start when they're 18. When they're
It's happening a lot more now.
and
A lot now.
I mean, it was rare when we had Kobe. You know, Kobe fucking he was
Kobe's Kobe.
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like that was like a big deal. They drafted him out of high school.
It's a big deal.
And yeah, you're right, and it is happening a lot more. But then what? They get 10 years and then they're out, dude. I mean, they're too old. Like they're 32, and they're too fucking old. They can't play.
Dude, that's crazy how sports works on its time.
Yes.
Like, you're an old-ass man when you barely turn 31. Like, you're an
Yes.
old-ass motherfucker.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then you see guys who are playing until they're, like, 40, and you know that they have to be on something.
And then I see guys playing, doing something at like 22, and then I'm like, man, my life is in fucking shambles.
Dude, I don't even get me started on that. All right, so check this out. Going back into how I do sports writing.
Uh-huh.
So I write about the Angels, but I do a lot of coverage on one of their minor league teams.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm listening. I'm just gonna step away for a second.
Yeah. So they go to the in Inland Empire. They're the 66ers.
Uh-huh.
I go to the games. I go and I interview players, which these are like prospects for the Angels. These are kids that are gonna be playing on the big league team like 2-3 years. But I'll be sitting in the dugout with them, and there'll be a guy who's like 19, 20 years old. And I'm 25, and I'm not that old, but it makes me feel like an old motherfucker just sitting there, just listening to like a 20-year-old talking about how, like, oh yeah, man, I'm going through the process to get to the big leagues pretty soon. You know, in a couple seasons, I'm looking at getting.
And
to the
he's
big
like
leagues.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, which is even crazier because the Angels have this one guy, drafted him first round last year. Insane. He's an insane, talented dude, and he's 19 years old. I was talking to him last week. And I was just thinking, this guy's 19. And when he was like 13, I was still out here doing like sports writing. Like I interviewed Torrey Hunter when this kid was like 13 or 14 years old.
Oh wow.
And now he's like 19. I'm like, damn. I'm not that old, but how is it that this kid is 13 and he's 19? He's a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me. These people should all be 13 for the next 20 years.
Well, I mean, that's the prime age. That's why.
It just,
Dude, if you the realist answer is the parents fucking know when you're like 13 whether or not you're gonna make it into the majors or not.
Yeah. Oh my god, absolutely.
Right?
You can just tell just by looking at a kid's body
How
type.
did you do in baseball when you played Little League?
When I played Little League, I was half decent, except once I got like to the later Little League levels, I couldn't hit for shit. I would just stand up on the batter's box and just hope that I get a walk.
Yeah.
I was embarrassing. My brother, however, is a dumb asshole because this guy,
Talent.
he was good. This guy could smash a ball.
Yeah.
So in high school, he's trying out for the baseball team. Doing great. Killing it. He's out they're doing their little run-throughs, testing out everyone's hitting. This guy, he decides for some fucking reason, I have no idea why, that he's going to go up and he's going to hit without his glasses on.
Oh.
And the whole time he had just gotten new glasses, and he's saying he's seeing the ball, he's just stroking everything. But when it matters, when all the coaches are like, all right, this is a
Did he
simulation.
get cocky or?
No, you're just fucking dumb. You're just an asshole. And he just did it. He just decided that he'd go out without his glasses on. He couldn't see the ball. He struck out like an asshole. And that was the end of his baseball career.
Yeah, I didn't do too well, but I love baseball. Like, baseball is the only sport I ever played that I enjoyed.
Well, yeah, me too.
And I was never any good.
Yeah.
I was never any good. I was always like outfield.
I played outfield too, right field.
Dude, and the sucky kids are always in
Yes.
the outfield. Because
Yes.
they need the good kids in the infield because they're not going to fucking, 9 times out of 10, a 10-year-old's not gonna hit the ball that far.
They put the kids that play with butterflies out there.
Yes.
You just sit on your ass and you just play with the atmosphere.
Yeah, you dig a hole with a stick.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
I was that kid.
I was that kid too. Until like I got an opportunity one time to pitch because I had an arm.
How old were you?
I had a fucking arm. I was like 12
Okay.
because I had an arm, but I was just all over the place. So
Were you beaning kids?
oh yeah,
You were ending kids'
beamed
careers
2.
at 12?
I beamed 2. The fucking one inning they let me pitch.
Where? Where'd you hit them?
In the arm,
Aw.
both times.
I was hoping you get him clean in the nose.
I think I definitely hit somebody. I mean, well, maybe it was a different game that they fucking let me, but it was like they started letting me pitch because I had an arm, but like I had no aim, just no aim. So
That's like Major League.
yeah,
Charlie Sheen.
yeah.
So there, you were ready. You're already primed for the majors. There we go. You should have stuck with it.
Only in the movies.
You should, no, man, you'd be surprised. Dude, I was at one of the 66ers games. They were playing the Dodgers minor league squad.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are stacked. This team is fucking great. They just traded for Manny Machado, shortstop from the Orioles.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
One of the kids they sent, Rylan Bannon, he played on this minor league team, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
Yeah,
He was a third baseman. This kid was a stud.
I used to go to Quakes games a lot.
Dude,
actually.
this kid that they traded was so good. Like, and it's worth it. They got Manny Machado, but this kid was a starting all-star for the league that all these teams. There's like 8 teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Diamondbacks, Rockies, Mariners, stuff like
yeah.
that. But this kid was a starting third baseman. He led the league in home runs and RBIs. This kid was a fucking shredder with the bat.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers have a ton of dudes like that. They got a catcher named Connor Wong. This guy's a shredder, and catchers usually can't hit. It's not a thing that catchers do. Catchers?
Mike Piazza, bro.
That's Mike Piazza. Come on. Usually how it works with catchers is that if you can be a catcher behind the plate,
no, you're right. It's
that's
rare.
all that matters.
It's rare.
You
Yeah.
see dudes who
It's rare to see pitchers and catchers both that can do both.
Yeah. Hey, look at the Angels got that Japanese kid Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And he can pitch and he can
Yeah,
hit.
he could hit. Yeah.
Oh my god. And the Angels still blow the season. I cannot believe this team. This team is I'm more interested in what's happening with our minor league squad than I am with the actual big league Angels.
Why?
I'm more because
because it's just more interesting.
Yeah, I'm just more invested in it. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, the minor league squad is like way out of the playoffs as well. So
Yeah.
it's just the whole organization hurts me. The big league team, no, nothing. The minor league team, nothing. They're all the same.
When's the last Angels won a series in what 2002?
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Wow, dude, I guessed that. I don't even know how the fuck.
ooh,
Yeah.
smart guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's so memorable. It's just locked in everyone's memories. They have the Game 6 in that World Series where they were down 5-0 in the 7th inning and came back. One of the greatest Game 6s.
I actually surprised myself that I got that right.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm
You're
really
gonna
surprised.
jerk yourself off over
yeah,
it?
yeah. I really am surprised because I'm a baseball fan, but like I'm not like a fucking statistics dude.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to shit like that and dates and whatnot, like I'm but I think because I watched that one
Mm-hmm.
and I remember that
Okay.
one. Maybe that's why.
So, do you know the Dodgers' last World Series?
I mean, was it 88?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not as bad as you think.
Maybe not.
No.
I mean, but only for like the past 30 years, maybe.
Well, I mean, in conversation, that's what's really relevant.
Yeah.
In passing conversation, like
Yeah.
now, if you try to talk to people about baseball, you can't talk about Carl Yastrzemski and shit. Nobody's like Carl Yastrzemski. Who is that? And it's like everybody just cares about
Back when Jackie Robinson.
Jackie. Back when they had guys like Ty Cobb. That was when baseball was
Do
crazy.
you know the history of the Angels being like the first team in LA?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Can I hear it? Because I don't fucking actually know it. And I heard somebody arguing it one time, a Dodgers fan arguing that they were one of the first teams in LA, and I kind of knew that wasn't true.
Well, the Angels, they started in '66 or '68, and they shared Chavez Ravine with the Dodgers in their first season, and the Dodgers had.
But the Dodgers had just moved from Brooklyn.
Yeah, so even then, the Dodgers aren't a natural LA team.
Yeah.
At the beginning, the Angels started in LA, Dodgers didn't.
Yeah.
So, if you want to really get down to it, the Angels are the actual
The actual original
bred and
LA team.
LA team. And they started off as the Los Angeles Angels. They started off as the LA Angels. And people nowadays would be like, oh, they're the Los Angeles Angels. They're just blah, 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 trying to cash in on money. And they are. I'm not going to say they're not.
Yeah.
But they started off as the Los Angeles Angels. And then they moved on to become the California Angels.
Yeah, I remember
Anaheim.
that. Yeah,
and
it was
then
the CA sign on the hats.
I love those pinstripe, those like quasi-Yankee jerseys.
Yeah, Angels in the outfield
Yeah.
era.
Dude, there were so many good people in that movie that I had no idea. Like Matthew McConaughey
Donald
was in
Glover?
that movie. Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Disney, I don't know. I guess Disney's just always balling.
Always. We went on a baseball talk here.
It's my fault.
It's fine. No, it's totally fine, dude. I started this podcast because I wanted to do everything that I didn't do on HumpCast.
Well,
So because HumpCast has we have the segments and we have to get into the stories and all this.
yeah.
And I'm like, the part that was my favorite, no disrespect to that show and what that show is, but my favorite part was always the part where we were riffing and fucking talking and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's like, so maybe I should just do my own show where we do that. Okay.
Just freeforming it.
Yeah, of course.
I love it. That's
of course,
my favorite.
of course. So I want to go back before we get out of here. We got a little bit of time, but I mean, I don't know if you have anything to do.
Well, I mean, since we're already talking about sports writing, I do want to, I guess, plug the website that I write for.
Sure, yeah, do it, absolutely.
I write for halohangout.com.
Oh, so you write for an Angels site.
Yeah, and from there I write. Well, I'm more writing about their minor league team, the 66ers, talking about their prospects, the guys that are going to be on the team in a couple of years. But I do talk about the Angels, but they're really disappointing and not worth watching right now. It's kind of just really sad to watch them, and yeah, that's why I just prefer right now going to 66ers games, writing about them, and a lot of the new players that they have that are going to be in the team in a few years are like, these kids are ballers. They have some fucking crazy kids that are on the minor league teams that are going to be coming up to the Angels, and I just go there. I talk to them. I write like prospect profiles about them. I profile their journey in the minor leagues. I talk about their potential.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really great, especially since they
You also write for now
I write for Metal Assault.
that's what I'm
too.
saying. I'm gonna take it full circle here.
Yeah.
You also write for Metal Assault.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a couple of years now.
How did that come to be? I mean, Metal Assault. If you guys don't know, Metal Assault is it's basically like an internet magazine. if you ever think of like, Metal Hammer.
Yes.
Or Revolver magazine. This is something that's developed DIY in the LA scene, basically. This dude one guy,
Andrew Bansal.
Andrew Bansal. He goes around and he goes to different shows and he writes reviews on bands, and he's the hub of the LA scene.
Yeah, he books
LA
a lot too.
heavy metal scene.
He
yeah.
books a lot.
I mean, he's
of
done great
shows.
work for this whole heavy metal scene.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine what things would be like if he wasn't around.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Until we met him, like me.
I saw him. Okay, it was funny because we met him a few times in my whole thing, But he was very like kind of never really worked with us. We knew him. We knew of him. Didn't really. We just never really kind of clicked, or maybe we always crossed paths, but never actually
Connected.
Yeah. So I knew who he was. So Belgrave is my cousin's new band.
Yeah, it's a new band.
So he was playing at the Whiskey, and I was like, great, fuck. So I went to that show and I see him there, and I told my cousin, I was like, dude, that's a big deal. Like he's here, he runs this. Da, da, da. I was like, and he runs shows. I'm like, you need to talk to him. And
yeah.
so he went and talked to him. And through that, he's been fucking doing all of his shows throughout the.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
dude.
Like,
And he books everywhere. He books LA. He books OC.
Yeah.
Books over in Long Beach. Some shows in San Diego. He's
Right,
been really getting out there.
That's
been
great.
going a lot.
And that's fucking amazing.
It's
That's
great.
so good for
Just
yeah, you know,
music in general.
music in general. I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, it's so tough. I'm fucking like banging my desk here. It's so tough. It's so tough being a musician in LA. I mean, already. And so people like him like really make it a lot easier.
They do. It kind of acts as a natural filter. It kind of like he's really good at scouting talent, getting really good bands, putting great lineups together, and like forming this like cohesion. Like he's been like he really like I guess you could say like he did a lot of work in like jump starting the scene that's been happening nowadays.
Sure.
A lot of the bands nowadays that have been playing together, they kind of a lot of them have started knowing each other through him. There's a lot of bands that we've been playing with that we would have never met if it wasn't for him.
True.
It's crazy.
That's so now you write for Metal Assault. How did that come about?
Oh well, my brother just saw that. I guess my brother followed him on Facebook and he saw that there was a post looking for writers and he sent it to me. So I just sent an email, and I started writing for them.
It was a shittier story than I wanted.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's nothing fancy. My brother just sent me this shit, and it was one email. It took me to get it because I already had a whole bunch of sports writing stuff.
Okay, so there's one last thing that I want to talk about before we get out of here, which is okay. So when you first start playing drums, like for me, growing up in the suburbs, my brother and I both took on instruments around the same time, but not until I was out of high school.
Yeah.
And so I was already 18. I didn't start playing drums until I was 18. So I've only been playing drums about 10 years. That was it was only I grew up poor, so that only happened because I was working and I was able to buy my own instruments and stuff like that. And then growing up and figuring out different people, you can actually play shows, you can actually do this.
Yeah.
But I had my younger brother was also playing guitar but wasn't pushing himself as much as I was.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was never in a band with me.
Okay.
Which is like I'm sure he'll hear this because he does podcasts. We have become closer and closer and closer in time, and we've jammed together multiple times. Mm-hmm. But anytime I've ever thrown him a bone to be on stage and like play with us, he's freaked out. He's panicked.
Really?
He threw up the one time that we were like,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he gets really anxious. He gets panic attacks and stuff. And it's not his fault. He's just maybe not met out for the stage.
I had a panic attack on stage once.
Really?
Yeah, not even a joke. It was really bad. I had a really bad panic attack on stage once. And my brother was
playing drums.
Yeah. Which was really fucked up because I felt like while I was playing the song, I felt like I wanted to run off stage, and I felt like my soul was getting sucked out through the top of my head.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm flubbing the song because my head is not on straight, and my brother's yelling at me. My brother's fucking up on the drum set yelling at me so loud it's like over the song.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made everything so much worse. Mm-hmm. So I definitely understand.
I mean, I don't like. I've had a panic attack like once or twice. That doesn't happen to me regularly.
Yeah.
My anxiety levels they heighten up. I feel like only with age and the amount of people that are in the
in stress.
Yeah, and the amount of people that are in the room. So how does that trigger? I mean, you're on stage, you're doing what you love.
Well, what really fucked me up is that there was only like 5 people in that little bar.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
See,
Who
the
cares?
thing is, like, I had, and kind of not so bad now, but really bad, like just anxiety, general anxiety problems. Yeah. Like, it was really bad. One time, I would have problems like going on the bus to go to college, to go to classes every day. On the bus, I would like start really feeling really anxious. I felt like my brain was getting overloaded with like sensory information. Mm-hmm. And one day, I just almost passed out on campus because I was just having a really bad panic attack, and I went to the hospital for that.
Jesus. Okay, so you have a long history of anxiety.
Yeah, that was when I was like 19.
But you have an history of anxiety, though.
Oh, yeah.
So that creates the panic attacks. So now...
Well, that show happened back when like I first really started having all these problems, and that show happened. It was really difficult for like a
Was that before you were smoking weed?
No. This was after. This was I started smoking weed like I didn't start smoking.
Well, how is it now? I'm like I seriously just want to get an understanding because like my girl has really bad like anxiety and stuff, and like for me I'm so like fucking loosey goose like go with the flow type dude, but then dude, that's what I'm telling you. There's like sometimes I'll be in a room full of people, and I'm like, I'm gonna die right now. I need to go home.
Sometimes it's just like it feels like your brain is working faster than your body.
I don't recognize it. Like, I don't recognize that I'm having a fucking panic attack.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
just think you're stressing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it just feels like, especially if you're stuck in a room and like it feels like your brain is just like moving really fast, moving faster than your body can like catch up to it. So like you just kind of get like these really jittery. I get it in my hands. Like I get these jittery feelings in my hands, and it starts radiating like through my chest and the rest of my body. And this is why a lot of the reasons why people will ask me why I'm so aggressive on the drums and stuff. A lot of it just comes from my natural anxiety that's just stored up. Because sometimes, like, I'll wake up in the morning, and when I'm getting up, I'll be, like, sitting in my room, and it all just, like, builds up so fast. Like, I feel like everything's going at 2,000 miles an hour, even though it's, like, 8:30 in the morning, and I'm just getting my clothes together to get ready to move on for the day. Yeah. And it's just something where, like, when I'm playing drums, doing something super active, like, putting all this energy out there, like, really just explode. Like, just explode it all out.
Absolutely.
And it helps so much with like that kind of like anxiety, like problems that stem from like nervous energy. But a lot of it is just like nervous energy that's gone out of control. That's like generally what it stems from. I could
maybe okay. So again, I'm not trying to fucking.
No, you can go ahead.
I'm just trying to understand this. I'm just okay. Maybe for me, the reason why it doesn't happen so frequently is because I'm able to channel my nervous energy.
Yeah.
Like. You know, with doing shows and doing stand-up and doing, like, you know what I mean? Like, if that makes any sense. Like,
no, it makes perfect
Like,
sense.
because I get nervous before I go on stage, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
But the minute I get up there, I mean, the fucking feeling of...
Oh, yeah, everything is gone.
It's gone.
You're all past it.
Yeah,
no, I'm the same way now, yeah. I don't get anxiety when I'm on stage. I generally don't really get anxiety before a show. Like, I'll get nervous energy, but not nervous where I'm like nervous about performing. I could just feel like that excited, like kind of jittery energy.
It's a fire, you know.
Yeah, just like building up in your stomach.
And the nervousness kind of helps you.
Yeah, it helps you project yourself more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Totally. Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to get at is being in a band with a sibling. Is there any sort of like conflict, or you know, you grew up together? Yeah. Right? So there's got to be some I'm not fishing for drama.
Getting some dirty details?
No, I just want to know like what that's cuz I was in a band with my brother.
Yeah.
We never really fought, but you've been playing with your brother for years. I mean,
over
years
10
and years
years.
and years.
Over
so
10 years.
That's a little different. You know, for me it was only a brief 2-year period.
Well, a lot of that stuff,
and I never played. And we never had instruments growing up, so we were never, you know, we didn't grow up into being musicians. We grew up and then became musicians.
Our neighbor had a drum set, so that's how we were able to get around that. So we were lucky. We had a guitar. I had a guitar, and then the neighbor had a drum set. That's how we all started playing. But in terms of like conflict and stuff, the worst.
Just imagine like. It's not that easy, right?
It's pretty run of the mill. At this point, because we've been doing it for so long. But the thing is, even when we were still like getting in this groove that we're in now, there wasn't really so much conflict. Because the thing is, we had defined roles.
Well, I guess. Maybe I'm just trying to fucking feed.
No, I understand.
Maybe
I
I'm just
understand
trying to
what
feed
you're trying
you
to.
shit.
No, I understand what you're trying to get at because I get that. That's the thing.
That's just what I'm thinking.
Like you think of Oasis and shit.
Yeah, but they're the fucking.
That's
extreme.
an extreme.
Yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from. Is that you guys like
you're brothers
every second of your life together.
You lived your whole life. Is
there some abrasion in what happened?
But I guess okay. Well, maybe in my experience, but there's kind of a separation. Is that?
No, there's no. If there was a separation, the band wouldn't work so well.
No, I mean a separation between being brothers and being musicians.
No.
Well,
I mean, ever since we were like 13, 14 years old, we've been playing music together. So there's not really like, you're my brother during this time, and you're my guitarist during this time. It's like he's always my brother. He's always my guitar player. Always the singer. Yeah. There's no really like, I have to kind of set them in different compartments.
Sure.
To like, I don't have to deal with them in different ways. It's all like one.
So you find comfort in it, like that you guys are.
Well, I've been in bands where it wasn't as smooth and natural like the band I went to Russia with, and that gives you a
Obviously.
lot of perspective on like how like meshing personalities works in bands,
Yeah.
especially when you have bands as big as like, I mean, not as big as, but 4 people. Like some people can't even manage a relationship with just one other person.
Yeah.
Then you got to add 4, 5 people into the equation. There are a lot of people who can't handle that.
Yeah.
But
Why do you think I went into stand up?
what do you think? A lot of stand-up comedians,
It's me.
they can't even handle relationships with themselves.
Yeah.
That's the best part of stand-up
Well,
comedy.
That's the easiest part.
That's the easiest part. So how long have you been doing stand-up for?
Since I quit the band, so about 5 years now.
It seems like it's been going pretty well for you.
It's going all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love it. Like, dude, like I can get, if I got like a movie deal tomorrow,
If only.
right? And I just like struck millions and millions. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the type of person of like a Chris Rock or whatever. Even though Chris Rock still was, he got movies because he was a stand-up.
Yeah.
My point is, I would always do stand-up.
That's just your avenue.
Yeah, it's always so humbling, and I don't know, the feeling of being live on stage is just you understand it's like
it's
like nothing else.
Putting yourself out there for all these people, it's like you're just completely exposing yourself.
Yeah, but the difference, I mean, like I've done music and I've done stand up, so like the big difference with stand up is that you're extremely vulnerable by you.
Oh my god, I can imagine.
Because when you're in a band, and especially as a drummer, you can blame anything on anybody else. You could say, "Oh, you didn't play that fucking part right,"
Yeah.
or "You came in late," or whatever it is. Any sort of element could fuck up your performance,
Yeah.
right? But the only person to fuck up your performance is you when you're a stand-up comedian.
So obviously every stand-up bombs. I imagine you've bombed.
I bombed a lot. I've bombed so much.
When was the last time you bombed?
Bomb. Like let's see.
Doesn't have to be anything brutal. It doesn't have to be
I gotta think about it.
nuclear.
I gotta think. Oh, okay. I had to do it's fucked up. I had well, if anybody knows about this place in Southern or Central California, it's called Tulare, which is like in Bakersfield. No, Fresno area.
That's a mouthful.
And I got booked to do a half-hour headline. And
How often is your set time?
in LA,
Yeah,
10
like
minutes.
5-10 minutes.
8 to 10 minutes.
Then you go to half an hour.
And I had so that's the thing. That's the thing too. Is out here is like if
That's
you're
a
gonna
TV special.
you spend so much time doing 10, 15-minute sets that like if you're gonna piece together new material, like you got to do different sets and figure it out,
Mhm.
and then you
mesh it.
But you never get a chance to work out a 25 to 30-minute set out in LA.
You just have to do it when it's called upon you.
Exactly.
That's fucked up.
Exactly.
That
So I
sounds
got
terrifying.
they're like 30 minutes. I had done a 30-minute set before. Like I've done a couple 30-minute sets, but get this: when they're not laughing, it's not 30 minutes.
How long is it? Like 2 hours when they're not laughing?
No, when they're not laughing, it's like 15.
That's fucked up. So what is the worst you've ever felt on stage in terms of the audience just not getting your jokes, just not vibing with you?
The worst I've
The
ever felt.
worst,
Well, the
yes.
thing, if you're doing a long set, like
Mhm.
the key is you gotta maintain your pace because if you run out of material at minute 23, you're not getting paid. So you signed up for 30.
Yeah.
You gotta do 30.
Have you ever had to riff?
Yes.
Just
yeah,
rip up,
I
like,
did.
so
I
much
did
time?
like crowd work at one place, and it just wasn't. Dude,
Just not your thing?
Yeah, it just fucking was whatever. It worked out.
It got you
It
by.
got me by.
Yeah.
I really have to. The thing is, I eat dick so fucking much, like I can't like even tell you.
Is
the
that part of
most-
your routine?
Just eating
How
a dick.
often you bomb?
Just eating a dick. No. Fuck. I gotta think of one. Oh, okay. And I did one in. I did a boating club event.
Rich people?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Ventura County, Ventura Harbor Comedy Club. They have a comedy club in Ventura, and it's in the harbor. And so they, I guess, invite the boating club every now and then to, and I go on stage, and I'm featuring is like the opener, like the big opener before the headliner.
Yeah.
And I'm featuring for this big black dude.
Bruce Jingles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so I'm featuring for him, and we have to do 2 shows, and I walk out, and I do my shit, and it's just not fucking working. It's just not working. But the room is filled, and what I found out was everybody they sat the boating club people front and center, and that's why I thought I was bombing, but
it was just.
But they did just that group.
That was their
like
demeanor.
Me. No.
Oh, they didn't like it. The boating club people didn't like it.
No, fuck no, they didn't like it. But everybody around them, like, because it's a big room.
They were into it.
So everybody in the back was, like, loving it. But because, like, the boating club was, like, right in front of the stage, kind of took, like, a good section of the room. When I was up there, I got to a point to, like, man, like, I figured out that you can't get upset when they're not getting your jokes, right?
Yeah.
Or they're not fucking, look, and for me, it's like, I know at least 20 minutes of my material murders. Like, I know that.
Yes.
I've done it long enough.
That's good.
To understand.
It's good that you have that confidence.
Right? And I'm just like,
good.
and I'm like, and if it doesn't in this room, that's your fault. Because
you're an idiot, you don't get comedy.
Because you're stupid. No, look, not your fault. Maybe not your fault. Maybe it's just not your shit. And you have to, like, really think about that. Is that comedy is so subjective, just like music, where, maybe you get booked on a mixed, you get booked on a like, you know how it is. Sometimes you get booked on a fucking weird lineup.
Yeah, we used to get booked on death metal, black metal lineups all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So, and you're doing like stoner doom metal, right? Like, you know, fucking, and somebody might be like, this is bullshit because they love the death metal.
Yeah, we've had people just walk out when we're playing.
Right, and I've had people walk out while I'm
doing... Like an entire crowd just walk out.
While I'm doing a set, and it's... So that day, I just decided, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If they don't like it, then, I was like, I got hired to headline. I'm getting paid. Like, or not headline, fucking feature.
Feature,
yeah. So I'm like, I'm getting paid tonight. Either way, fuck them. So I started doing my shit, and it gets to a point where like, dude, the fucking like front row is not just stone face. And
is it just like all like stuffy looking white people?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then I got to a point in my set where I asked like if anybody plays a musical instrument, and
where's this going?
And I asked, and I said, and then this guy raises his hand, and I go, "What do you play?" And he goes, "Banjo." And I go, banjo. And I was like, and this is already like halfway into my,
I'm waiting to hear you say something real fucking stupid. I'm waiting to hear it.
No, this is good because I'm like halfway into my set already knowing that they don't like me.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And I go, banjo. Like, people still play banjo? And I go, sir, are you, what the fuck is his name? Fucking, I was like, oh no, I said, that's great if you're Steve Martin, which I'm sure you're not. I'm like, or racist, which I'm sure you are.
How do you react to that?
Everybody, like, dude, I heard laughs like from the back again, like, but like, dude, they were like, oh. But like, bro, and then I walked out, and the headliner had watched my whole set and watched how fucking stuffy and crazy they were, right? Not crazy, but like just fucking
just not getting
just not loosen up, And my material's not that fucking hard. It's not. I'm not talking about my dick every 5 minutes or,
Yeah.
But I do rip on religion a lot, so like, I guess maybe that's where it went wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
But
Christianity.
Catholic.
You don't rip on Islam?
No.
Why? You're afraid to go into that territory? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, well, come on, I gotta break new ground.
They're on our territory all the time, breaking ground.
Yo, there we go. Boom. Joke 1. There's your material.
Boom
starter.
is right.
Joke 2. There we go. You got it. It's natural for you. Oh my God. Are you? Yeah, I guess you're never gonna touch into Judaism.
No.
That's
No, I already say
risky.
bad things about Jews on this podcast.
You have? Oh my God! Which episodes?
No.
Bookmark me the
No,
times and send them to
no,
me.
Vicky, Garrett like seriously gets mad at me because I talk shit about Jews on fucking FamCast all the time.
In what regard?
I just jokingly
You
say,
just bring it up
I
at
just-
every chance you
no,
can. You
it's
bring it up.
every time, like yeah. Now it's become like an ongoing joke. You know, it's like if there's a problem in Hollywood, I'm like, well, it's those goddamn Jews around
Oh.
the fuck.
Well, I mean, you're a smart guy. I'm sure you know something about it. You run your own podcast.
I joke. But it's funny because I even say this to other comics. Like, and only other comics really get this. I'm like, I didn't know what a Jew was until I started doing stand-up.
What does that mean?
That means
I'm not
every
a
Jew is
comic.
doing stand-up.
Really?
Yes. Dude, the Jewish
A
people
lot
are
of Jewish people stand up.
constantly doing stand-up and in the movie industry and auditioning and
Well, movie industry, duh, but
the
stand-up?
Hollywood. No one,
Well,
dude. They
duh.
do stand-up to do movies, to become movie stars. Like they don't.
Adam
I don't
Sandler?
fucking dude. Name of anybody. They're Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't news to me.
I know, but that's because of that. They think like so every Jew does stand-up now.
That's crazy. Wait, was George Carlin Jewish?
No, Catholic.
Okay,
Yeah. But-
interesting.
You know who knows.
Who knows, really?
No, he was Catholic. So George Carlin had a huge.
But Jewish humor is some of the best humor. Larry David.
I mean, that's not Jewish.
Seinfeld?
That's just humor, though.
It's dry humor.
Yeah.
And it's dry humor, especially Larry David's. It's steeped in like so much it's extremely logical to the point of absurdity. And that's what made Seinfeld so popular. It's like you had people like George.
Yeah.
His logic was logical, but it was to the point of absurdity.
It's the frantic. It's the demeanor, the frantic demeanor. I understand
yeah,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But just try and sit in a comedy club for a fucking open mic night one night and tell me how much you think that's hilarious.
Just hearing dry humor all night.
No, just my mom's Jewish. She wants me to marry a Jewish lady, and I can't grow pubic hair. It's just like I'm obviously look. I'm fucking sorry to anybody who's
Apologies.
Jewish.
Future apologies already said now. I apologize.
I feel the same way
I
about
was young.
Latin comics. I like Latin comics. Like I take pride in the fact that you know why you don't see me that like the reason why I haven't actually booked a lot of other stuff is because I refuse certain things.
Yeah.
I won't. I mean it's fucked up. It's like I won't deal with particular people because I don't want to be stamped as a particular person.
Yeah, you're just avoiding some kind of pigeonhole.
Yeah, and I don't want to be on a fucking Latino comic fucking caliente
All
night.
the runs.
Fuck all
yeah.
that, dude. I'm not. So I've never done any of those shows. Never.
Damn, not even one.
None.
Even if it pays you good money.
They won't. So.
Okay. Well, answered your own question there. There we go.
I mean, I've done Latin nights maybe at like fucking like at the Ice House or whatever, but I usually stay away from like particular because I'm just like you wind up being a part of this group that you didn't ask to be a part of.
Yeah. It's because the people put you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. You don't look Latin though.
Yeah.
What?
I'm half.
I was gonna say what subdivisions.
Yeah,
It's not science.
Well,
What
that's
race
one of
are
my
you?
jokes. Is I'm half. I was gonna say half Chinese. I'm not Chinese.
That would be a great joke.
No, the joke is I'm half white, half Mexican, and I came out Chinese.
I've heard that joke before. Yes, I love that joke. I've heard
Or
that joke
Asian
before.
or whatever. But yeah, and I grew up, in a Hispanic neighborhood. So
Uh-huh.
anytime I drink and I go home, I walk home because I'm responsible. So when I get hit up by like some cholos on my way home, they're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, Raider Nation."
From does that stem from real life experience?
No, it's just a
Aw.
joke.
That's a great joke.
No, but I did grow up in a kind of a ghetto neighborhood though. So like,
Didn't we all from here, from this general LA area?
yeah. So whatever. But anyway, Solar Haze, guys. I think we should wrap it here. We're at about 2 hours.
Whoa.
This is a good podcast.
Yeah. It's
We've
chemistry.
it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. This might be my longest one so far.
Honors all mine.
Well, thank you, Ryan Falla, for coming on.
And thank you, Ryan D, for having me.
Hey.
Yeah.
So Solar Haze has their debut album at solarhaze.bandcamp.com. You can check it out, listen to it. Are you guys on Spotify or anything
Not
like
yet.
that? Not yet.
And
Are
when
we
we
getting
are,
there?
I'll come back.
Are we
Oh,
getting
yeah.
there?
Oh, yeah.
We should. You get fucked on Spotify. I know that.
But we'll get there.
You should.
We
you
will.
should do it.
We'll be there by the end of the
And
week.
Solar Haze is a great fucking live band. If you ever went to any of our events for FamCast, it was it was a fantastic time. We your bass player went up to the balcony and it was
he has a wireless
he has a wireless
setup,
so he walks into the crowd.
He just
and it's,
roams around.
I love it. I love that
Yes,
shit.
I
Man.
love it
It's so
too.
good. The great music. We're definitely gonna end on a song here, but what do you want to pick from this album?
United Minds.
United Minds. Okay,
I love
we'll
this-
end
I
on
love the
United
song.
Minds.
I love the song.
Solar Haze will be in San Diego
August 14th with Mortar.
August 14th with Mortar.
Yes.
They do my theme song, guys.
Yeah, Solar Haze. We do the intro song
So
every
thank you again.
episode.
Thank you again for that.
Thank you
And
for supporting.
dude. Absolutely, you guys are the fucking best thing to come out of Central LA or LA. I don't
Thank
fucking
you. I appreciate that very much.
know. Love these guys so much. Follow them on Twitter and Instagram.
Instagram, it's search Solar. I don't know the Instagram. I don't use Instagram. It's Solar Haze
Just
is
Solar
the
Haze.
Instagram. If you want to go on Twitter, you could follow my Twitter at rmfalla, RMFALLA. That's where I post all my sports articles, and you can come and you could talk shit to me about how stupid you think I
And you
am.
gotta check them out on Middle Assault as well.
Yes.
Give it up for Ryan Falla. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your night. This is United Minds by